Every movie has random trivia. And here at Trivial Theater, I explore some of these movies and the random circumstances that make them the weird creations that we love. The theater is decked out for the holidays and ready for a full month of festive offerings. This week we're going out of this world with a Martian toy factory, some dad joke level puns, and a really fakey mustache for another instant classic of good bad holiday awesomeness. We're going on a rocket-powered sleigh ride with 1964's Santa Claus Conquers the Martians. We start with a genuine bop of a song, and some animation that doesn't quite keep pace. The credits also inform us that there are special toys, Martian furniture, and a tower of crystal fountain, which I am super excited for. In a news report from the always informative KID-TV, we get a tour of the North Pole by a reporter that makes jokes worthy of the naughty list.
Since we've been here, we've eaten nothing but frozen food. At least that's the way it is by the time we get it.
We cut to two kids watching the report and gasp! Did TV turn kids green in the 60s? Oh, never mind. They're just Martians. Santa has an interview where he sorta names his reindeer correctly.
Prancer and Dancer and Dunder and Blitzen and Vixen and Nixon.
And then Mrs. Claus shows us that she runs this show. The reporter asks a random question that totally won't be answered in the movie.
I've been wondering, what is this strange little creature?
And after a dreamy musical transition, we see the Green Man, who happens to be King Martian, creatively named Kimar, who is currently using a tickle ray on this movie's comic relief, Droppo. It leaves him with a series of interesting faces, and then he fiddles with his antenna. And because of Droppo, I now have a foolproof excuse for those times when I fall asleep in inappropriate places.
I forgot how. So I was just practicing.
We find out that Martian tech is pretty awesome. They have point and open doors and the Martian version of the Home Shopping Network.
Now, this little doll walks, talks, cries, and she even sings.
But on the other side, they have these beds, and their food comes in pill form.
We have hamburger, buttered asparagus, mashed potatoes.
The Martian leaders discuss how the kids are all sad and shit, so the decision is made to go visit Cho-Chum, who lives in a hairy cave, but is surprisingly spry, green, walks with a stick, and is over 800 years old. Wait a minute, is Cho-Chum related to Yoda? The sage pulls a Simpsons move and predicts how modern culture will affect a kid's ability to be a kid.
Information is fed into their minds in a constant stream.
Kimar interprets this as a need for Santa, even though one advisor with a really bad fake mustache named Voldar thinks this is dumb. They haul Holiday Ass to Earth and give us another thing that's eerily reminiscent of Star Wars. They arrive to find the Santa, but encounter several. In the meantime, news outlets accurately report their sighting.
Our radar stations are tracking the spaceship, or whatever it is.
And stock military footage tracks them. Okay, this shot raises so many questions. Why are the Martians dressed like 1960s Batman TV show henchmen? Why is the radar box labeled? Why is it large enough to comfortably hide in? I'm looking at you, Droppo. Elsewhere, Billy and Betty discuss Martians.
What would you do for Martian look right up behind you? I scream.
And Betty is true to her word. Betty then drops a solid roast.
Are you a television set?
As the Martians respond by pulling awesome poses and pointing a hairdryer at them. From there, they're forced to take the Martians to Santa. There's a quick bit of kinda naughty stock footage that was also used in Doctor Strangelove. And then this movie kinda predicts the Space Force.
This ship ever leaves Earth, have the Hollywood Space Force after them.
The ship arrives at the North Pole where the kids escape, just to be tracked down by a realistic polar bear! And Torg, who in turn becomes a giant metal toy once he slowly enters Santa's workshop. Santa gets captured, but keeps the crew in stitches with dad jokes.
What's soft and round, and you put it on a stick, and you toast it in a fire, and it's green?
I don't know what.
A marshmallow!
Until even he loses the will to tell them.
I suppose if a Martian has a headache, he doesn't take pills. He takes chocolate ice cream. Oh dear, oh dear.
They arrive on Mars, and the kids' first reaction to Santa is about the same as Earth kids. After another point, an open door leads us to Santa's schwanky push-button Martian toy shop. The kids double as either elves or child labor. I'm not really sure. Droppo decides that he wants to be Santa, and is promptly kidnapped by Voldar in a heist that rivals Santa's sense of humor in actually working. They do manage to bust the swanky toy machine, making it spit out some real nightmare fuel and leading to an astute observation.
Well, this never happened when we made toys by hand.
Voldar realizes, gasp, Santa is actually Droppo, and he returns to finish the job right. He's met with a toy army that promptly takes him down to a very appropriate kind of music. While this goes on, one of his expressive henchmen checks the battle and gets a mouthful of balls. Droppo is made the new Martian Santa, and normal Santa returns to Earth, all to a sing-along of a Christmas classic. Despite the title, Santa never really conquers the Martians, but I suppose it makes for an eye-catching poster. This is a movie that's made the rounds, hitting everything from Elvira's movie Macabre to Mystery Science Theater 3000. It's as infamous a Christmas movie as it is famous. It also stands as the first documented appearance of Mrs. Claus, coming 3 weeks before her appearance in Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. The producer wanted to make a Yuletide sci-fi fantasy that could be claimed by kids as their own, since at the time, at least in his eyes, there wasn't very much in the theater aimed at kids outside of Disney. It was released for Christmas in 1964, and then was a matinee staple for years after. There's been a single-issue comic book, a musical, and a rightfully tongue-in-cheek novelization. Remakes have been rumored as early as 1998 with Jim Carrey attached, and according to IMDb there is a new version planned for 2021, but at least by the poster it looks a little less whimsical. The very catchy Hooray for Santa Claus theme was written by early Tonight Show bandleader Milton DeLugg. The Martians all had kinda goofy names, but the main Martian family actually had reasoning behind theirs. Kemar, Momar, Gurmar, and Bomar were creatively shortened from King Martian, Mom Martian, Girl Martian, and Boy Martian. Chochem was also taken from a Yiddish word for sage, and the big not-so-scary robot Torg's name was just a reverse version of Gort from The Day the Earth Stood Still. So Santa Claus Conquers the Martians is a super fun movie to watch as an adult, but the appeal to kids is kinda lost on me. Now, I can be a bit of a jaded miser, so you gotta keep that in mind. It was a clear box office success, and the producer's ability to see a non-Disney kid movie gap in the market clearly paid off. The humor is solid dad joke level at its best, and kinda cringy at its worst. Whichever way you slice it, they made a movie with heart and knew who their target audience was. As goofy as this movie is, in its simplest form it has a remarkably similar plot to A Nightmare Before Christmas. Santa is kidnapped and brought to a strange land where it's assumed he can work some kind of magic to bring happiness and joy to the people. It's a message that transcends, and it's as great a message then as it is now. Santa Claus Conquers the Martians is a really weird little film, but it's also really silly. It's been riffed on by the best because it's so enjoyable, even in a good bad fashion. I say this about a lot of movies, but like the rest, this one is worth tracking down. The sheer goofiness of it will have you rolling. Thanks to Shockluster Video for reminding me of this weird, wonderful little gem of a movie. You'll find their Twitter link in the description below. So what do you think? Suggestions for movies, trivial questions, comments, ratings, and the whereabout of this supposed Tower of Crystal Fountain would be appreciated. Thank you so very much for watching.